Hey, what's up, guys? So, I just wanted to point out some few things, okay? So, we're back with the American fucking dumbass news tonight at fucking, what is it, like 9 o'clock-ish in Texas, Central Standard Time. So, on the first up, on tonight's story that we have, gee, I don't know, why switching asthma inhalers could be better for you and the planet. Directly from the BBC and Britain, credit to them. So apparently, who would have thought that having a different inhaler would fucking better the planet? No offense to the BBC, but inhaler. Just wondering. It says that the current aerosol asthma inhalers we use are cheap, but because of the gases they contain, are one of the NHS's biggest contributions to climate change. Okay. It's like a vacuum cleaner in your lungs trying to pull your air out. So, what? So switching, I think honestly switching asthma inhalers, period, from this would be way better because it's trying to suck the lungs out of you, not the planet. But we're just going to move right along because I don't even want to try to go into full depth about it. Nope. Then we have NASA will retire ISS by crashing it into the ocean. Earlier it said yeet. I swear to everything I love, NASA yeeted the ISS into the ocean and was like, fuck this shit, we're out. International Space Station to crash into ocean on retirement. So they're yeeting on their retirement day. That's awesome, NASA. Congratulations on that. I really hope that thing has a badass retirement. Are y'all going to start up another one? Probably, but, you know, that's tomorrow's news. Then we have, gee, I don't know, why a toxic volcanic lake on Earth reminds scientists of Mars. What? Mars? I thought Mars was inhabitable. I thought they, this is, one small step for man type shit that, I don't know, scientists probably never even set foot on Mars. Physically. No. But it says toxic volcanic lake reveals how life may have been possible on ancient Mars. Ancient Mars. What the fuck? Oh, P.S. to NASA. By the way, make sure y'all get another blueprint guy, because that blueprint guy, I guess he just keeps losing the fucking blueprints to the moon again. And get a different coffee guy, because Spielberg is just not cutting it, okay? No offense to Spielberg, but I'm just an asshole. The deep sea floor is... In other news, the deep sea floor is filled with entire branches of life yet to be discovered. DNA shed by deep-sea organisms reveals a dark abyss teeming with tiny life forms. Well, no shit. Abyss. Have y'all not read the Bible? Hello. Y'all thought it was going to be all flames and shit. Guess what? You're drowning. Joke's on y'all. This is real. NASA camera a million miles away shows moon crossing face of Earth. I mean, do they got beef? Because, from the CGI projecting that I'm looking at, it literally looks like a coconut flew in front of the Earth. I'm just saying. It did. It looked like somebody threw a coconut in front of a fucking CGI screen. Respectfully to NASA. Just saying. And then we also have why Mars helicopters like Ingenuity would glow in the dark. Well, that's awesome, guys. I'm glad that we're going to be able to see the fucking spaceships from Earth. It's nailed it. We don't even have to use cameras anymore. We can see it from fucking here with glow-in-the-dark paint, guys. That is epic. Did y'all get Pimp My Ride to do that? God, I hope not. That would be shitty. No offense, Exhibit. Let's see what else stupid shit we have going on. And this is just science alone, by the way. But no, on a serious note, I just want to know about the solar storm havoc that apparently Russia suffers long-lasting radio blackouts as particles batter Earth. Okay, so I stopped and thought about it earlier, and hypothetically speaking, okay, so you have the Earth. We're just going to title it E. And then you have, well, actually, let me back up. You have the Sun, then you have Earth, and then apparently you have the Sun, E. And then, hang on. Okay, so you apparently have the Sun, and then you have the Earth, okay? And then apparently our moon is supposed to be way the fuck over here, but like, according to the article, the mass coronal ejections that have been happening have been targeting Russia. So I'm like, what? Hold on, let me explain why I'm like, what? Okay, so in order for them to say that the mass coronal ejections were actually targeting Russia, okay, they would have to actually dynamically spin the Earth to line up with those mass coronal ejections, hypothetically speaking, or, let's say, move the moon in between the Earth and the Sun with those mass coronal ejections, and then it would target Russia, because then the Earth would be spinning on its axis, but you'd have to actually time it. So what does that say? Death Star? Just saying. I mean, that's just a theory, though. I'm not saying that's set in stone, but from my point of view, looks pretty Death Star-ish to me. Because it says, so a coronal mass ejection, or CME, blasted out the Sun's outer layer on January 29th, sending with it fast solar winds and a geometric storm that catapulted into the Earth's atmosphere on February 3rd. These storms bring billions of tons of fast-moving solar particles, as well as the magnetic field that binds them. When these crash into the Earth's atmosphere, it can cause chaos down below, including the chance of radio blackouts. Okay, I get that. I get it. These can cause problems in an intrusive and long-lasting way. Let me ask you something, okay? I know that it ejects those, but like most of these are coming from behind the Sun lately. And I want to know if they're coming from behind the Sun, how the fuck you move the moon to direct the energy? Hypothetically, not saying that's legit, but it's possible. Not trying to bust NASA out, because it's not Pick on NASA Day. It's not Comedy Roast of NASA, and they're fuck ups, because Lord knows we all have our own fuck ups. Okay, so like I said, this is just pure speculation. Okay. See, space weather physicist Tamitha Skov wrote on Twitter, here's what Aurora from the ongoing solar storm is doing to VHF radio in Russia now. So yes, I can understand it causes blackouts, but like, if the ones that they're talking about are coming from behind the Sun, how the fuck are they getting? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are they getting from? They're shooting out from behind the Sun, and then whoop, they're slingshotting. I'm just asking, respectively, on a serious note. But, and of course, and then they have to throw in, like, it went from 30,000 troops to now 100,000 troops. So, like, how many did, like, do y'all even really know how many troops he might have posted up at the border? No. Then why assume? What the fuck? Respectively, U.S. Space Weather Center, SWPC, ranks solar storms on a scale of G1 minor, the least intense, and all the way up to G5 extreme. But even the weaker solar storms are able to interrupt radio communications with the high energy radiation that they can bring. Okay, I get it, but like, what's directing that energy from behind the Sun? That's the $1 million question. What is directing that energy from the mass coronal ejections from behind the Sun? This radiation is said to cover the entire electromagnetic spectrum. I don't know. How about our Red River army depot, emulating, I don't know, let's just say 70,000 megahertz of fucking EMFs 24/7, plus a fucking geomagnetic or an electromagnetic fucking pulse from the sun, or mass coronal ejection from the sun, that are X-ray, which is like the highest mass coronal ejections that's possible. They're going to end up knocking down the power grid if they're not careful. So, because I want to know where the snowstorm was supposed to be at. Because wasn't it supposed to have like this winter bullshit this weekend? Where'd it go? Early indications show that the minor geomagnetic, this is from the Met's office, minor geomagnetic storm levels were reached, but frequent data from the British Geological Society showed that, in fact, moderate geomagnetic storm levels were reached with unsettled to active conditions following for the rest of the day. Okay, again, what is directing the energy? How do you know for sure what side these fucking mass coronal ejections are actually coming from? You're just speculating. But a lot of people have said that they're coming from behind the sun. I mean, there's no way, and unless there's something that was actually directing the energy from those ejections to go back to the Earth, because they should just shoot out to the back with gravity and the law of gravity and all that, physics and everything. When solar storms are stronger, they can cause even more disruption. According to the SWPC, when strong CMEs collide with the Earth's magnetosphere, all of that extra radiation can damage the satellites we use for communications and navigation. It can disrupt power grids that provide our electricity. So, but even the weakest of storms threaten power grid fluctuations and have a minor impact on satellite operations and, of course, radio blackouts. So, back to my theory of moving the moon around the Earth. Wow. Crop dust. Images in the crops that the farmers used to do, or like used to have, just like miraculously, that was wow. That was just fucking insane. But anyways, so you have the moon, the Earth, and the sun. And in order for that energy from the mass coronal ejections to even remotely go this way from back here, dynamically, you would have to have something like a conduit, which, if some people believe the moon is hollow, or a spaceship, like, I don't know, the fucking Death Star. But the fact is like, not only that, but if that was the case, with it being on its axis, and it the moon travels with the Earth, so it's like a hand in hand. So it's not like they're traveling in two different directions at the same time. They're actually rotating at the same time, but it's rotating this way. So they would have to actually time it just right and have it like on a fucking what you call it, like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a time schedule, pretty much, is what I'm looking for it to be like, okay, well, we're going to rotate this. They would have to trajectorize the Earth going back behind here, but, like, the moon is still behind it. So that means that they're actually moving the moon. Has to. For anything to direct the energy, unless they're using the satellites, which that's a possibility, too. Like, I don't know, a interstellar or intergalactic satellite that's like a drone, but for space, respectively. But that was just a theory. I found it kind of funny, to be honest. But anyway, back to other news. Let's see. Lastly, for science, because I'm done with science. Fish have talked for 155 million years, and now you can hear their voices. Whew. I can only see that as the fish made me do it, instead of the devil made me do it. And fucking thank you. Finally, somebody else gets to be the scapegoat, and they blame it on the fish. Imagine that. Talked. It's called fucking, it's not like echolocation because that's like whales and stuff, but it's called telepathy for humans. We can do the same shit. Jesus. Y'all are, it's stupid. It's stupid, stupid, stupid. Respectfully, but it's stupid. I mean, let me ask y'all a serious question, MIT, like, directly. And y'all probably won't ever see this, and I really don't give a shit, but I really got to know. It says, MIT physicists have discovered new qubits for quantum computers using vibrating atoms. Where'd you get that information from? I don't know, Nikola Tesla? Possibly. Maybe CERN? Hand in hand, discussing his fucking work after he's passed away. Just a pure speculation and theory. But also, I wanted to give them a little knowledge. Okay, so your little quantum bits or qubits. This is copyrighted, by the way, so don't even try to fucking put it in a thesis or anything. It's mine. My knowledge. It was given to me. But I want to give it to MIT to kind of like blow them away. Okay, so qubits, quantum bits, are what, like 100 bits per shit, what's it called? It's 100 fucking, okay, it goes 100 bits, I think, 100 qubits per I think it's 2 millimeters. Is that correct? Okay, yeah. I had to double check myself internally. Okay, so it's 100 qubits per 2 millimeters. Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, quantum bits. Okay, qubits. Bible, qubits. Okay, they think that is like, that measurement is like massive. Okay, qubits, try breaking it like to feet. So maybe a qubit, okay, like the Bible's version of cubit, it was a foot. So that would make the ark, Noah's Ark, smaller than what they projected. Like, I don't know, the Ark of the Covenant, that was a box. Not really a box. More like the size of, like, we'll say kind of a shipping container. A shipping container or a storage unit or something, but something that the Nephilim could have carried. Because the only thing that would have been big enough to carry that would have been the Nephilim. Respectfully. And or Marco Polo, who was kind of like Merlin on the down low. Don't ask me how I know that. I just do. And I know it seems like, oh, it's my God, that's insane. No, it's just given to me. Marco Polo kind of gave it to me earlier. And he was robbed, by the way, on the Silk Road for the Ark of the Covenant by Nimrod, Nebuchadnezzar, and King Solomon. For, I don't know, maybe the Necronomicon and a few other relics, but that's just pure speculation. I don't have actual physical evidence, but I'm highly telepathic and a medium, so I'm really tapped into spirit or source, the Akashic record, whatever you want to call it scientifically, but the qubit, same measure, is like, translates from the Bible from CU to QU. So, yep, it's a quantum fucking computer. Or something based with quantum physics, possibly as well. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that it's factual, but that was just a thought and a theory. So, there's that, MIT. Scientists engineer new material that can absorb and release enormous amounts of energy. What? Okay, skip that. Sorry. Do we create space-time, a new perspective on the fabric of reality? Okay. If anybody knows the Terminator, hypothetically speaking. Okay, it says a new perspective on the fabric of reality. Okay. Azazel once told me, or told Drew, sorta. It was more like us. But anyway. You are the master of your reality. When things... Okay. When... So say... Okay. So say, it doesn't become a part of your reality until you physically see it. If that makes sense. Like, so it exists... Because, well, even though you know that you haven't seen it or it physically known, like, you know that, so, say, like, dark matter. We'll just say dark matter, for instance, and Cryon told me this. Dark matter, okay? Even though you can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there. It just means that the dark matter that you're looking for is on a higher hertz than your brain can actually perceive it. And whenever you match that frequency of the dark matter... Okay, when you match that frequency, or you find that frequency like Nikola Tesla was trying to show everybody, and they fucking corrupted his work and ran with it, CERN, and created the internet. But anyways, that's neither here or there, and a lot of people are going to be like, what? Yes, CERN created the internet. So, I don't know, is the Higgs boson probably a big-ass giant quantum computer? Probably, but that's just theoretics. But anyways, so... Back to what I was saying about that. The fucking, shit. I forgot. Like that. Just instantly. Give that back. God damn it. See? See? Scatterbrained. I got too excited. This happens. When I get really excited about the shit like this, I'm just like, it's gone. But just because it's something you can't physically see it doesn't mean it's not there. You just haven't been able to match that hertz of something, like Nikola Tesla was doing with the buildings, because he actually found figured out the vibrations and frequencies of two buildings, and I think he stuck the little metal what was it, like sound tongs or something like that. I don't know. They look like a little fork, sound forks. I don't know. Anyways, they emit vibrations and shit if you ding them. Okay, if you match that frequency with whatever you're trying to become real, or make it become a part of your reality, you match that hertz, then that's when it becomes into your existence. So, it always exists, even whenever you're not. Whenever you think that it doesn't exist, or that it's not, there's always the existence of it. Infinity is finite. Okay? And the reason why I say that is because of the phi ratio that Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla and they were all improving on to you know, figure out more of the physics part of physics. But so until you actually until you actually see it physically, and then you try to match the brainwave with that type of reality, like Albert Einstein says, I think it's Albert Einstein, then you are creating your reality. So, yes, we do create space-time. No, it is not linear. Our brains are our brains were quote designed, or we were told that time is linear. Okay, we were told that it's past, present, future. There's no other thing. That's set in stone, which is false. That's a false paradigm, or paradox. I think it's paradox. No, it's paradigm, because it's a perception. Okay. So if you think in a linear format, past, present, future, that's how, and you know, instead of thinking in a way that you would like to be, time or your space time to be done. Just do it the way that works for you. Like, I don't see time linear. I see it like the phi ratio, the spiral, okay? And eventually it has to stop. Eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything in nature, I believe, I can't remember. I don't want to discredit anybody, but I think it was Nikola Tesla too. But there was a lot of people that did the phi ratio, okay? It's called the divine ratio, or the divine, what was it? I think it was like the divine, shit. I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I'm just going to look it up again, because I had it, and then I forgot it. Okay, so it has to do with the Fibonacci numbers, which is a series of zeros and ones, which also is how quantum computers work. So they use the Fibonacci sequence. Okay. It's called the golden ratio, or also it says the golden ratio is sometimes called the divine proportion because of its frequency in the natural world, which is, I don't know, probably 369, like Nikola Tesla had predicted, like he theorized. But everybody thought he was crazy because, well, he would do certain things in a certain way. There was a reason why he did it in a 369 sequence. But it didn't have to be in that order, because it always equals the same every time. No matter if you put it in 963, it ends up what? Let's do 18. 6, it always ends up with the same number every time. And what number is that? 6. 666 carbon from the periodic table of elements. No matter how much you arrange it, the 6-3, you can arrange it from 6-3 and 9. And then you can arrange it from 963, and then you can arrange it from, I don't know, 396. And then that's literally how many, like, there's four different ways of rearranging the numbers, but it always ends up the same, to 6. So you can try that hertz, you can try 639 hertz, 963 hertz, or 396 hertz. So let me make sure I'm not missing one. Yep, 936. So actually there's 5. I was wrong. There's 5. So 5 rivers of the afterlife, 5D, and then there's 5 different hertz that, well, could be the key to the universe, or keys to different things. Like 1, I don't know, 369. Human hertz. So those are probably brain frequencies that people could operate on, or you could tune your brain to those frequencies and figure out what you got. That's just a theoretic, though. Like, that's not set in stone. So I'm done with the physics part of it. I wanted to point that out respectfully to Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein, who were passed away. But I talk to the dead, so it's like you know what I'm saying? Like, they come and go. They're just like, hey, by the way, just to let you know, new information. So there's that. So, last but not least, but, okay. I found this earlier. What? Ugh. Okay, so the next quantum breakthrough will happen in 5 years. That was El Paz. That was 2 days ago, and then there was another story that had to do with physics as well, and I was like, wait, what? Like, didn't they just say, like, 5 years from now? And they're like, oh, well, what was it? It was quantum, it was quantum friction, or, yeah, it was quantum friction. I was like, wait, what? I was like, so it was like quantum friction, and then it was like, oh yeah, well, new, Hang on, I'm trying to scroll. The next breakthrough will happen in 5 years, and they're like, oh, we got a new breakthrough, quantum friction. I was like, wait, what's the difference between friction and quantum friction? Respectively. I was like, wait, like, is that, like, because, I mean, if it's just a frequency of zeros and one, like, how the fuck is it friction? Like, how does it have friction if it's digitized? I'm just asking. That was, like, oh shit, mysterious X particle spotted in quark, gluon plasma. That one particle that fucked the world up. Because all it takes is one particle in that Higgs boson for us to go boom. So I hope it fucking goes through the way that it needs to, because if it doesn't, we're fucked. Dark matter asteroids. Okay. Like I said, just because you can't physically see it doesn't mean it's there. So they automatically assume dark matter exists, so therefore, there we go. Same thing with anything else. Like, I don't know the existence of gods, the existence of an actual superhuman being with a brain level of a god instead of 100 hertz. Like, that's what ascension is raising your vibration of your consciousness. So, what? Okay, so now we got, okay, sorry. We got glow-in-the-dark fucking helicopters. They got glow-in-the-dark ships on Mars, and then it says helicopters flying at Mars may glow at dusk. Well, no shit if it's got glow-in-the-dark paint. Respectively. Oh my god. I mean, I don't know. This is just stuff that I scroll across, and honestly, I figured it was time for me to be like, hey, even though if nobody ever fucking responds, like, constructive criticism, to get actual, like, maybe somebody to be like, okay, well, this is how it really works, but, because I don't have a physics degree, I've never really actually studied physics, I've just studied the basics, and, you know, I know how it works, but at the same time, like, some of it's just, like, common sense. It's not really difficult until you make it complicated, because we overcomplicate things. Isaac Newton's life was one long search for God. And I feel that Isaac, not saying that he probably felt this way, but speaking on my opinion of the God thing, God, you are God. Like, we are God. And I'm, like, quote, societal Satanist, okay? But I don't really like classifying myself or labeling myself, because then it limits me. It limits me to the constraints of your societal standards, and I refuse to be conformed. I refuse to fit into your box of what you think I should be. Okay, but God, or Jesus, or your Savior, it's a God to your understanding type shit. NA type shit. But Jesus, quote, was trying to teach the people how to do certain things, but they weren't grasping it. They weren't. He was getting, like, honestly, I feel he was getting frustrated, and I think Isaac Newton, we get so busy, or people have gotten so caught up in the God concept of, well, a savior, we need a savior, you know, like, we always need a savior, but when you look to each other, because we have the capabilities of a God, quote, God, you just have to work hard for it and have to be willing to sacrifice. And I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about, like, what are you willing to sacrifice in your life? Because I've sacrificed a lot to get to the level of mastery of, we'll just say, esotericism or Gnosticism that I have through sacrifice and respect. Even though, like, some of the videos I did was kind of batshit nuts, but it was for a reason. I was told, like, you know, my spirit guides were just like, hey, you do this, so I did it. Regardless of how crazy it was, because it was a limiting belief of mine. It was limiting me. And I've gotten over that hurdle. So, I'm just going to close with, we're all looking for, you know, Isaac Newton was looking for a search for God, when God has been next to us the entire time. We are each a god. We are each our own reality, a world, a star. We all operate at a different vibration and frequency. Nobody ever, like, yes, our brain supposedly operates on 100 hertz, but do you really think everybody operates on that hertz? No. Because we're all designed differently. We're different. We're not supposed to be one alike. We're supposed to have our own frequency and vibration. Yes, you have similarities or whatever, but when you match that frequency, because that's rare, when you match that frequency, the possibilities are endless. But you have to be open-minded and willing to match that frequency. And that means your limiting beliefs. That means holding yourself accountable for things like a good leader would do. And so I think we got caught up on the concept of a savior that we, like, there's no invisible person in the sky that's going to come save us. Like, it's up to us to save each other. Like, we are our savior. We are Jesus Christ. Like, we are our God. Like, we are the God. Like, we are God. And they were Jesus and the demons. I don't like calling them demons because they're not demons. They're not. They're energy. They're just at a higher frequency than we are. It's not insane. It's just people shy away from shit they don't understand. And so they'd rather be boxed in and believe the lie than to try to face the truth and try to fix things. So whenever you go looking for God, why don't you look at the homeless person on the street, or the kid that, has ragged, look next to you. And look in the mirror too, because you are your own God. You're your own master, nobody else. So, but I'm the Eternal Phoenix. That's all I have for now. Rising above the ashes. If you like what I have to share, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have anything to comment, please feel free to, but no negative bullshit. Like, I just don't need that type of energy in my life. Like, I like debates, but like when you come at me with, negative slurs and shit, you're this, you're that, I'm just gonna be like, bloop, ignore, because you're irrelevant at this point. Respectfully, anyway. So I hope y'all have a good night out there in Radio Land, and until next time.